There it is. The metro station.
Why so serious?
Alright. Oh boy, welcome to the land of trash. Oh my god, holy shit. Holy shit.
Everything. General. Be ready to scan. Thank you so much. Perfect. Amazing. Thank you, folks. You got some. You all getting to see the fall. Amazing. You all been so patient. Oh my god, this is
Where's the lobby?
I was so disappointed that more
Aerofilm.
people did 6. I really wanted another one.
I pre-ordered it as soon as it came out. I love it.
These games are not too much.
Actually, no, I love that because I want to bring something home for DJ too, and I know he loves Arnold, but I don't know if he loves the Arnold movies.
Oh
But I
yeah.
know he loves
Blinds
Every
to that.
time
It's
you
like
go-
my kryptonite. I can't see that movie.
I want to ask, by any chance, do you have Ringo in 4K?
No, we sold out, I'm afraid. We didn't.
Oh,
Really serious.
very popular.
Yeah, you can still get it online.
Okay.
And actually, if you wait until after October, just come here. What else are you working on at the moment?
I'm doing.
So you think you should have somewhere on the documentary?
Oh, I know. Oh, that guy. All those sci-fi movies.
I have got to get that surveillance equipment working. Lucky he wasn't a bank robber.
Oh my god, they're all reserved.
Like he had just forgotten that guy. But it also makes he just.
Good evening, folks. How are we doing? Please keep your hands raised. We're going to try to get people in those seats, all right? Thank you so much, guys.
dark.
Because it both makes first you're not but also like something that you could go to the beach and do shots as the doctor during the day, and you're just like, wait a minute, I don't think you could do that. You can't do
Avram, what do we have tonight? We have the West Coast premiere of the 4K restoration of The Fall! And not only that, we have a Q&A after the film with the one and only Tarsem Singh. Tarsem will be back as well. We have, coming up, the world premiere of the 4K restoration of The Cell! That, I think, is Thursday night. We're going to have a standby line for that. When Christian said he'd come from work to watch a movie, he said, "Fuck work, watch movies." In the back.
Here's a training. In the back.
Up to the quiet workout.
An aborted child that has suddenly decided to grow wings. All I can say is, just for a show of hands, so I can understand, how many people have seen the movie before? I hope not probably from some bad Chinese site or something. I hope not on your telephones. Just for the people who've shown up for the popcorn, I swear it's not that kind of film. So drink your stuff. But only one personal request, which is something that I've made too many enemies with. When the movie starts, don't put your phone on silent. Put it off, because some jerk off is going to call you in the middle. Let's keep the applause going and welcome our director, Tarsem Singh. They just had it out of the questions, so let's... There's an art film looking for the child, boy or girl, didn't matter. I haven't found the girl that we went. I thought the fight was till then to make the movie, because I was convinced that I would find some sort of audience, and then it didn't help Harvey Weinstein asked me to see it before, and when I said no, he decided to get up in the middle of the movie and walk left 5-6 times before he left, and then the critics killed it. And except who I thought would be there was Roger Ebert, who I loved, and he that year got cancer and didn't see it for another year and a half. And then when he came out and started liking it, I realized I probably made a much more polarizing film than I thought. I thought it was a lot more accessible, but the guys who killed it didn't go. But somehow, like you said, the whole thing about the internet, it started to go in that word, but I'd already lost all my money. And I just thought, if I take another 2 years, I told my brother, we have to put this on a screen because if people don't see it, it's the worst thing. So I worked for another 2 years, and then we put it on the screens ourselves. And then it kind of mullet. You're the guy with the reactions. I loved you.
I had a feeling. I was definitely laughing my eyes a lot. So yeah, thank you for making me cry. Yeah, I was mainly just wondering, after doing a piece of such passion and putting so much of your own resources.
Why is my life downhill?
No, not why is your life downhill. It's after doing that and getting sort of the painful anticlimactic response that you did, how did you keep going and not lose your passion to keep making films after that?
That's a great question. All I can tell you is I was depressed for about 2.5 hours. When I went out there, I was still thinking somebody will buy it, and then I went home and Ajit, my brother, came to me and he said, nobody wants the film, nobody wants it for free, nobody wants it for anything. And I was in LA in my place, and it's the only property that was left, the LA house. I was just saying, okay, we haven't sold the house. He said no. So I said, okay. And I remember I had a very sinking feeling, but literally it lasted about 2.5 hours. Because I've never been a materialistic person. I had nothing, and I had a lot, and I had nothing, and it really doesn't matter to me. And so for me, when he told me that, I got scared for 2.5 hours because I was just thinking, what if later on in life, I see something that I want and I can't afford. And that isn't about the writing. I was looking at the architecture and then putting in that if Wallace ends up here, this is how you go down, you don't look up. It's an impossible location to shoot in. You go out there, you look up, there's a sky, and out here, just like when you want extras, it's a problem because you have to pay people to be extras. In India, you will be paying people, but not for extras. You'll be paying the cops to hit the 2,000 people that want to get in the shot that you don't want. So there's nothing that is ever clean. So that particular area, when we went out there, we shot there. I think Nolan went there for, I think it's the Dracula with Tom Hardy, not Dracula. It's the Batman with Tom Hardy. And that was supposed to be his little, I think, nut house that he escapes from or something. But I think they sat there for quite some time and they went like, there's nothing we can do here. So they built that as a set in Manchester.
Oh yeah, you do?
Yeah.
Okay, hey guys, what's up? It's the Culture Man here, and once again I am doing one of these improvised, real quick thoughts kind of movie review video. I just saw The Fall in its new 4K restoration at the Egyptian Theater, and right now it's midnight. I just came home like an hour ago and I had like a salad bowl for dinner, basically. So yeah, I've never participated in BeyondFest in my entire life. This is my first time, and this is also my first time going to the Egyptian Theater. I didn't know I know it's in Hollywood, but I didn't know it's so close to the Hollywood, you know, the Avenue of the Stars, etc., the Chinese theater. So it's crazy, the Egyptian theater and the Chinese theater. They're both in Hollywood. So yeah, the line is insanely long, and thank God I arrived at around 7 p.m. And had I arrived 10 minutes later, I would have been fucked. Because by the time I entered the theater, most seats are already filled, or I can't sit on it because it's reserved. And there's so many reserved seats. There are so many freaking VIPs. So I was lucky enough to find a seat that is very near the back. But I wish I could have sat closer, because I feel like I'm closer to the film if I'm closer to the screen. Another thing is, I really want to check out the Arrow stand. I thought it's going to be like the Criterion Closet, where they're going to bring over a truck or something, and it's just going to be nothing but Arrow films. And I was so hyped. So as I was lining up, I was trying to figure out if the Arrow stand is outside or inside, because if it's outside, then I'm screwed. But if it's inside, then that's great. So apparently it's inside, just right outside the theater. They have a table, and they just have all these Blu-rays laid out. These Shaw Brothers Blu-rays, friggin' Scorsese's Hugo. They're like 3 boxes. It very much feels like a secondhand yard sale. but it's just a big table full of Blu-rays. And I asked one of the workers there. They're both British, by the way. It's crazy the UK actually sent someone from Arrow down to LA to do this. But they're both British. I asked one of them if there's Ring in 4K, or I said Ringu so that they would understand, because it's called Ringu in the Blu-ray, which is silly. And they said no, it's sold out. But also after October 9th, there's going to be a sale, so I guess I kind of look forward to that because I really need the Ringu in 4K, or Ring in 4K. Yeah, so I saw the film and I think it's pretty good, but it didn't blow my mind or anything. I have a few reference points. First of all, this film came out in 2006. It's about a young girl who is simultaneously living in two worlds. One is a fictional world, the story where she and this Roy character, played by Lee Pace, is living in, this story world. And the other is the real world, where she's sort of in this infirmary, this hospital. And it's kind of like Pan's Labyrinth. And Pan's Labyrinth also came out in the same year, but I think Pan's Labyrinth is so much more interesting because the real life part is actually political and has something to say. And the fictional parts is also real, as in magical realism. And here it's less engaging in my opinion because the story is just a story, and whenever it jumps back to real life where we're in the infirmary in the hospital, I don't really feel too much for the characters either. So it wasn't as emotional of a journey as some people say it is. Unfortunately, I'm not that emotionally affected by this film. This is one, but I have to say, visually, this is one of the most beautiful films I've ever seen. It is truly gorgeous. Every frame is a painting, especially the story parts, the use of colors, the color palettes. They're grayscale, but then they're also so colorful at the same time. So sometimes it's very grayscale, sometimes it's grayscale with a patch of random color at the side. It's so lush and gorgeous, and the slow motion shots are beautiful. But it sort of gives me a similar feeling when I watch Hero or when I watched Dune parts 1 and 2, is that they look great. These shots look great, but I'm having a little bit of a hard time, just a tad bit of a hard time connecting to these characters. Because I guess the world it sets up for itself is too grand. It's not that poetic of a film either. It's almost Tarkovsky. But the thing is, even though a lot of the shots in this film are more beautiful than most of the shots I've seen in Tarkovsky films, that's a bold statement, I know. This film is more, I guess, on a technical level, more visually appealing. But I still think Tarkovsky's films are 200, 300 times more poetic because of the intent behind these shots. The way he lingers on these shots, the use of sound, the way the shots sort of serve the spatial construction of the scene. In The Fall, a lot of these shots just scream, "Look at me, I'm fancy and beautiful," which is still great. I think this film is fantastic as a piece of visual storytelling, visual masterpiece, but the story didn't really hit me as hard. But I do really like several elements, like how the film sort of honors old silent films, and it's funny because I'm taking a silent film now and I'm going to watch a huge silent film later. And Tarsem Singh is funny. He's a funny guy. He talks really fast. And he does have some interesting stories to tell. But overall, it's not as great as I thought it would be. I still really enjoy it, though. I still enjoy it for the most part. So I'm feeling like a decent to strong 8 out of 10. Have you seen this film? Comments below, let me know. Subscribe if you want more. Thanks for watching. Can't wait for Cloud and Chime. Can't wait.